Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Blaise XPerience once again. I am your host Derreck as always, and we are back for episode 78 today. And today's episode, we will be getting back into some more State of Decay 2 content. This time, there's a lot of content to the game, so this is going to be a pretty news-heavy episode because we have to talk about the new update that's coming for State of Decay. So the update is coming very soon. It's got a lot of new features that were revealed in Undead Lab's stream, and also has some World War II guns coming, so we're going to talk about that as well. So before we get into that, though, we do have some news at the top of the show about the podcast and the content itself. So as always, we'll get into that real quick, and then we'll go into our main topic today. First of all, our next stream is actually going to be on Sunday. It's going to be Wasteland 2. So Wasteland 3 is a game that's supposed to come out this year later on. And in preparation for that, I'm doing a stream on Wasteland 2 to see if I like it enough to get Wasteland 3. I'm also trying to find out if my community likes it enough to actually support me getting Wasteland 3. So we're going to do that stream. That stream is going to be Wasteland 2, Sunday, April 28th, from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. So if you are interested in Wasteland 3 at all, definitely tune into that stream and show me some support. That will kind of let me know that you guys want to see me cover Wasteland 3. So that's going to be that stream. And then on Monday, April 29th, from 12 to 4 Eastern, we're going to be doing a stream of We Happy Few. This is part of our Blind Play AMA, where we take a game out of Game Pass. We randomly select a game from Game Pass, we download it, and we play it without knowing much about it. I don't know a whole lot about We Happy Few, but this was the game that was most recently selected for the Blind Play. This is actually supposed to be streamed about 2 weeks earlier, but because I had a death in the family, it kind of derailed things for a little bit, so we had to cancel some of the streams. But I'm finally catching up a little bit, and I'm catching up by streaming that game, so that will be covered on Monday. We'll do that stream. And then, of course, one of our biggest staples, obviously, is State of Decay 2. That's going to be on Tuesday, April 30th. We will be doing a stream from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. And in that stream, we're going to finally finish our Trader Legacy in Nightmare Mode. So that'll be our final legacy. And we have 2 more achievements to get in the game as well. So we have to get the Trader Legacy done to get one of the achievements. The other achievement is actually to get our morale maxed out to 100 in Nightmare Mode. So we are going to try to do that as well. And basically that stream is going to be focused on trying to get the last 2 achievements. So that's going to be the goal of that stream. So tune into those streams. I'd love to see you all there. And if you want to tune into that, it's going to be mixer.com/Blaise XPerience. So that's mixer.com/BLAISE XPerience. Now for our next podcast, that's actually going to be on Saturday, May 4th. So we do a podcast every Saturday. And this podcast, I'm actually not sure which direction I'm going to go yet. There's a new update coming for CFDs. It's coming on April 30th. And I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to play that update by May 4th because it's only going to be like 4 days to play it. So I might not have enough time to play the update and get used to it enough to talk about it. So I'm kind of thinking that we probably won't be covering CFD as an episode just because I won't be able to research enough about it yet. I want to be able to play the game enough, play the update enough, and do enough research on it that I can confidently talk to you all about it. I have been playing a lot of an indie game called Human Fall Flat lately, so that is an option I'm looking into covering on the episode, because it's been a fun little casual game. And the other option I'm looking into for the episode is our monthly episode of Dead by Daylight. There's been some news recently about the end game of Dead by Daylight changing a little bit, so I might get ACC back on here to talk about that. So basically, next Saturday, it's going to be one of those 3 options. We're going to do an episode on Sea of Thieves, Human Fall Flat, or Dead by Daylight. So stay tuned for that. It'll be an interesting episode. And we'll probably have more State of Decay content the week after that, I'm thinking. But we'll get to that as soon as possible. But based on my streams that I just mentioned, I do also want to announce that this is the end of Autism Awareness Month. Autism Awareness Month happens in April. And basically this is a month that helps give awareness to autism, and it helps educate people about what autism is, all about it, and helps support the people that are dealing with autism, whether it's families, whether it's the individuals that actually have it, whether it's therapists that are dealing with children with autism, or adults that are in the workforce dealing with autism. So basically, it's dealing with the awareness of autism all around in all aspects. And this is definitely something that is near and dear to me because my daughter does have autism. So she's doing quite well. She's 3 years old and she's progressing and she's getting better with a lot of things. She isn't talking a lot yet, but she is getting better with everything. And this is definitely something that's important to me. And I wanted to do something with this earlier in the month, but because the death in the family that happened and there's a lot of stuff going on this month that kind of derailed things. I had a vacation in there too, so it all just kind of spiraled a little bit. So I didn't really have a chance to do something earlier like I wanted to because I wanted to do something the last couple weeks. But I am doing my final 3 streams of the month, which is the 28th, 29th, and 30th, in support of autism awareness. And specifically, I'll be supporting the charity Autism Speaks. And Autism Speaks is a great organization. Basically, this organization helps educate people and also helps to do research and find out more about autism so we can help the individuals that have it and help develop information on why autism affects children and adults the way it does and where it comes from, kind of, where it originates from and how we can learn more about it. So basically, they're trying to figure out more about it and help the individuals that have it. So Autism Speaks is a great organization, and that is the organization I will be supporting during these 3 streams. So I would really appreciate anyone donating to that organization and helping. And I do have a link for you that I will read out on the podcast. It'll also be in the show notes, and you'll also see that link on the streams. But the link I'm going to give you to donate is donate.autismspeaks.org. So that's donate.autismspeaks.org. So that is the link that you can go to donate if you want to donate, and I'd really appreciate anyone donating. And I will also be shouting out that link on the streams on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and it will also be in the show notes as well. So I'd really appreciate everyone supporting that, and it would mean a lot to me if you support that. So thank you anyone who does, and if you are able to support financially, then that's perfectly fine, but if you would, send out some retweets of the tweets that I do, or, tweet out the stream, basically anything you can do to help support the awareness, that would really help as well. So even if you aren't financially able to donate, then I completely understand that, but any awareness that you do provide does help. And lastly, for our news, we have an exciting announcement that we do have a new patron for Patreon. So I would like to give a warm welcome to our newest Patreon member, Naya Trujillo, also known as Naya Cyan. He's on Discord as Naya Cyan. He frequently watches the streams as Naya Cyan on Mixer. So unless you tell me otherwise, Naya, I'm going to refer to you as Naya Cyan. But he joined our $5 double experience level. So that is our 2nd level in the Patreon program. And now he gets some great rewards like access to a patron-only channel in Discord. He gets to suggest streams for the Sunday patron stream. He gets a special double XP Patreon role in the Discord as well, among other things. So those are some great rewards that you can check out. There's 4 different tiers if you want to help donate and help support the content I'm making. There's a $1 a month tier, a $5 a month tier that Naya Cyan joined for. There's a $10 a month tier and a $15 a month tier. So basically, the higher the tier you go to, the more rewards you get. So for example, at the $15 a month tier, you can get a 30-minute Skype call with me. You can get direct access to actually planning a game to be covered in the podcast, different things like that. So the higher the tier you go, the more access and more rewards you get. And any support that is given, I definitely appreciate. So anyone that does want to join Patreon and become a Patreon member, then it helps support the content I'm creating, and it helps support me with my dream for doing this full time. So I really appreciate that, everyone. And anyone that does support, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. And if you do want to support, it's going to be www.patreon.com/Blaise XPerience. So that's Patreon with patreon.com/Blaise XPerience. I definitely want to say thank you one more time to anyone that does donate to Autism Speaks. That is a organization that is really near and dear to me. Even before my daughter had autism, I had done charity events for them before. I had done community walks and things like that in the past. So I definitely appreciate anyone donating to that. And I also appreciate anyone donating to my Patreon as well. But for at least the rest of the month, I am a little bit more focused on the Autism Speaks part. So if you are planning to donate to my Patreon, I would say I would appreciate it more if you could hold off on that just until the month ends and at least donate to Autism Speaks instead. And then maybe next month, if you still want to join Patreon, then join it next month. But, at least for the rest of the month, these last few days, I would definitely appreciate you donate to Autism Speaks instead. But either way, thank you for the support, everyone. But that is it for our news. I know it's a lot of news today, so this is kind of a news-heavy episode. We had a lot of news at the top of the show, and then it's a lot of news about State of Decay, so there's a lot of news all around. But let's just dive right into the State of Decay news. So there's an upcoming update for State of Decay, and we don't know a date for this update yet. It's coming out soon, is all we know. So it could be, next week. It could be the week after that. We don't really know when, but it's coming out very soon. And we have been teased a lot of new features and World War II weapons that are coming in this update. So we're going to go over the World War II weapons first, and then we're going to get into the new features. So the World War II weapons, this was revealed on a stream a couple weeks ago. This is actually the stream that I had to miss because of the death of the family that I had, but I caught up on the stream afterwards, and basically these are weapons that will be distributed in the world. There's 9 new base weapons with a few different variants to these base weapons. The variants are rare variants, and they're going to be more difficult to find, and they're going to be appearing in rare gun cases. But the base variants are going to be appearing throughout the world. You can kind of find them in, gun shops, possibly. You might be able to find them in, weapons lockers, just different things like that. Usual spots that you might, there's, a weapon case here in the police station. You might find it there, things like that. But the weapons that we do have, we have the M1918 bar. This is a 7.62 assault rifle. And there is a variant to that as well. It's the barrel-style bar with a better fire rate. Next up, we have the M3 grease gun. This is a .45 caliber assault rifle. This has good power, but it's pretty loud. And the variant is very cool, actually. It's called the Graveyard Shift. It has an integral suppressor, and it costs you a little bit more power to get that. So basically, the Graveyard Shift, it has an always-on suppressor. It's already built into the weapon, but it is a little bit less powerful because of that. But honestly, you're definitely going to want the Graveyard Shift. The Graveyard Shift is going to be a great weapon for you because it's already suppressed, and in Nightmare, that's key for sure. Next up, we have the M1 Carbine. This is a 9mm rifle, and the variant is the M1 Paracarbine. Just a little bit different style to it, a little bit different look. And again, all these variants are rare weapons, so you can find them in rare cases, but they're not going to be found as often. So these variants are going to be a little bit harder to find. Next, we have our one new sniper rifle for this World War II weapons class. It's the M1903A4 sniper rifle. This is a 7.62 bolt-action sniper rifle. It's got 5 bullets capacity. And then we actually have a new revolver as well, the M1917 revolver. This is a .45 caliber revolver. This is, very loud, obviously. All the revolvers are really loud, but it doesn't jam or break, which is awesome. That's one great thing about the revolvers, they don't jam or break like that. And then we actually have a variant to weapon we already have. We already have an M1911 pistol in the game, but now we have an variant called the Surplus M1911, and this is a 45 caliber pistol. So you can find that World War II variant there. Next, we have a T4M2 carbine. This is a 9mm assault rifle. And then we have our one shotgun in the group, the M97 trench gun, the classic trench gun that was used in World War II. Definitely a cool gun. It might not be as effective in Nightmare because the shotguns are obviously loud and everything, but it's definitely be a cool weapon to have. And then the one I'm most excited about is honestly the M1A1 Thompson. This is your classic, Tommy gun that everyone knows. It's the classic submachine gun. It's a .45 assault rifle. And it has a variant, which this variant of this gun is the weapon I most want. Out of all these weapons that are coming in the World War II weapons collector set, this variant is the one I want most. It's called the Gangland Strad, and this has a built-in suppressor and a 50-round mag. So it's got that big drum mag that, you see in all the classic old-style movies. And it has a built-in suppressor as well. So it's going to be great to have that built-in suppressor. 50 round mag. The Ganglion Strad is definitely a weapon that I really want. So that is the weapon I'm most excited about personally. And I'm also pretty excited about the Graveyard Shift too, that has a suppressor built in. So basically the ones that have the built-in suppressor are going to be really nice, but they're probably going to be pretty hard to find too. So, definitely start looking for these when this update comes out. But I'm really excited to have all these weapons, and I want to go find them all. So definitely excited about this, and hopefully I can find them all pretty quickly when it comes out. But that isn't the only thing in this update, though. We have more to this update than just the World War II weapons. We actually have a lot of new features that are coming as well. So this past stream this week, Undead Labs went over a lot of new features that are coming to the game with this update, and I'm really excited about a lot of these. Some of these features are ones that won't apply to me as directly, but some of these features are so amazing, and they're going to be great. So I'll start going over these, but one of the new features is advanced toolkits. So quick repair kits in the game right now, we obviously know that they're a little bit different than regular repair kits. They repair faster. Well, quick repair kits after this update are going to become advanced toolkits, and they have the same repair speed as quick repair kits. So it still repairs that same quick repair speed, but now they actually repair a lot more damage on the car. So I don't know if it's exactly twice as much, but it's basically going to be twice as much or close to twice as much damage. So essentially, it's going to be like using 2 regular repair kits on the car. Now, again, it might not be exactly using 2 repair kits on the car, but it's going to be, close enough to that. So you're going to get a lot more health on the car back, and it's going to make getting advanced repair toolkits actually worthwhile. Next is one that was a little bit controversial, I think. Some people are going to love this. Some people are a little bit upset about it, I saw. But this is less deadly headshots in Nightmare. So in Nightmare mode, anyone that's played Nightmare mode knows that the headshots are very, very deadly, and you can pretty much go down on your knees with one headshot, and you're almost dead. So, it depends if the Enclave is going to take you out or not. But now you get more health when you get headshots against you, so you're going to have a little bit more health. That sliver of health that you have is going to be a little bit higher. And they're only slightly less deadly than before, but meant to give you more of a chance. So basically the way that it was put by Undead Labs is they're trying to swap out that was BS experience that someone would say, and they're trying to swap that experience for an experience where you felt like you were in control more. So essentially they're just trying to modify it slightly. That way it's not feeling like you had no chance, but it's feeling like you had every chance to actually win that encounter, and if you didn't win the encounter, then it was by your own design, and you had to, work on your strategy a little bit more. But they don't want it to feel like you had absolutely no chance in an encounter. But another feature is flashlights will always stay on when switching characters, so this is pretty cool. It's a nice quality of life thing that, your flashlight is going to stay on, so basically when you switch your character to another character, and you had your flashlight on, that will stay on. So it's kind of similar to the recent update where the vehicle lights stay on. It's kind of similar to the recent update where when you get out of a vehicle and you get into a vehicle with your light on, it's still going to stay on either way. They have fixed pyro minefields, so they now work properly how they were intended with setting things on fire. There are new nicknames based on the character's last name. The longer last names that you had for a lot of characters, had a really long last name, they now get shortened for a new and better nickname instead of having the long form name text on the screen. You can transfer from both sides. What this means is when you go to the trunk of a car, how it is right now in the game for this update, you have to take things from your backpack, put it into the trunk, and then hit the right trigger to transfer. Well, now instead of that, if you're inside the trunk of a car, you can actually transfer to your supply locker straight from your backpack. So you don't have to do that extra step of putting it into the trunk first. So that's really nice. That's a great quality of life thing that's going to make things a lot faster for us. This next one is a pretty big update, honestly. It's teleporting old survivors. So when switching survivors at an outpost, your survivor you're using now automatically teleports back to base. And this doesn't seem like it's that great of a deal, but in Nightmare mode especially, this is a huge deal because I've heard some people that in the community, they switched survivors at an outpost, and then the old survivor, they were supposed to walk back to the walk back to the base, and when they're walking back to the base, they got caught in a horde or something and they died. So basically, we're losing a survivor by switching an outpost, and that didn't really feel great because, they're supposed to make it back to base safely. Now that's going to happen. So now if you switch survivors in an outpost, your old survivor that you were using, they're going to immediately teleport back to your base. So that is definitely a lot better, and it's great to have that because now you can kind of keep your community a little bit safer. And there's still 2 other updates here. I say probably the biggest 2 for last. One of these is one that's been asked for a long time by the community. It's demoting your leaders. So now you can actually demote your leaders, and if you choose a leader you don't really want anymore, you can demote them and make them not your leader anymore and choose a different leader. Now, one thing to note with this is they're going to lose their standing, and they're going to have to start fresh in the community again with a morale penalty. So they're going to have a big morale penalty because, if you get demoted as a leader, that's not really going to feel great. So they're going to have a morale penalty there. And then on top of that, they're going to lose their standing as well. So basically, they're going to start as like a new member of the community, and you have to work them back up again. It's going to take a little bit longer for them to gain standing, which does make sense, because if you're a leader, you get demoted, you're going to be feeling upset about that. And also, not only that, it's going to take you a little bit more time to regain your standing in the community. So these people that you demote as leaders, you can make them a leader again. It's just going to take you longer to get them back to a hero status again to become a leader. So it's just going to take a little bit longer, but if you ever wanted to, you could make them a leader again at some point. So that is very cool. It's very great to have. Now you don't have to, kill your leader on purpose or execute them just to get a new leader. Now you can actually demote the leader you don't want and pick a leader you do want. And I saved what I think is the best for last. This is unloading magazines. So this one is so key in my opinion. This is my favorite part of this new update, even including the World War II guns, honestly. Like, including the World War II guns in this statement, this is my favorite part of the update altogether. Now what you can do is you can unload your magazines of guns you're not using. Let's say I have a 10-22 carbine that I'm not using, and I want to unload the bullets of that. Now I can unload the bullets from that gun into my backpack, or I could even unload the bullets from my supply locker into the supply locker. So all the guns you're not using, you can literally unload all those bullets, and you can actually take those bullets and put them whatever gun you want. And that is so huge because I have so many guns in my locker right now that I don't really use, and the bullets are just sitting in there. The bullets are just sitting in there, they never get used, nothing ever happens with them. Now I can actually take all those bullets out of every gun and have a stockpile of bullets I can use in the guns I want to use them in. And that makes sense because, in the real world, you would be able to unload the guns if you want to. So that is really huge, and this is a key update for me, I really love this update, so thank you Undead Labs for everything in this update when it does come, but the unloading the magazines part, thank you doubly for that, because that is huge, and that is something I'm going to love using. It's going to make quality of life so much better in the game, and it's just going to make everything great. I mean, this whole update seems like an awesome quality of life update. You're getting all these new features, you're getting all the World War II weapons. I'm really excited for all this, honestly. So, thank you Undead Labs, and we will do another podcast on this when the update officially drops, because I'm sure there's going to be some things in the update that weren't officially covered yet. Maybe some patch notes, something like that. So when that does come out, we will cover the patch notes and see if there's anything in there we haven't talked about yet. But I really appreciate this update, and, thank you Undead Labs for giving this to us. But that's pretty much the news that we know in the update so far. So I know this is a shorter episode a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't bother anyone too much. But I felt this deserved its own episode kind of because there's a lot of stuff in this update, and I felt it kind of worked well as its own episode. I didn't really have anything to pair this content with, so I thought it would work fairly well as a shorter episode, especially considering all the other stuff I wanted to talk about with Autism Speaks, with our new Patreon member, Naya Cyan, and our next upcoming streams. So I thought, having a shorter episode wasn't a bad case this time. We do frequently have episodes that run over an hour. Sometimes we have episodes that run over 2 hours. So having some episodes that are shorter, I feel isn't really a bad thing. If anyone disagrees, then let me know. But having some episodes that are like half hour, 45 minutes, I feel isn't a bad thing on occasion. And it's not too often that I have episodes this short, but I still feel like it was good content for today. So hopefully you guys agree. But just to reiterate, our next stream is going to be Wasteland 2, Sunday, April 28th, from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. And then on Monday, we're going to have We Happy Few, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. And then next Tuesday, April 30th, it's going to be more State of Decay 2 from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. And during that stream, we're going to try to get the last 2 achievements we need for the game. So we're going to try and complete our Trader Legacy and also get our Morale to 100. And if you want to check out those streams, that's going to be mixer.com/Blaise XPerience. That's mixer.com/Blaise XPerience. BLAISE XPerience. And during those streams as well, I do want to reiterate that we will be supporting Autism Speaks. So I'd really appreciate anyone that is able to donate to Autism Speaks. This is the end of Autism Awareness Month, so these will be the final 3 days of Autism Awareness Month. And it's going to be my final 3 streams of the month. So I'd really appreciate anyone supporting that and donating whatever you are able to Autism Speaks. Autism Speaks is a great organization, and they help with autism research. They help with people that have autism, and they help to support autism awareness. So I really appreciate anyone that does help this organization. And I will have a link there in these streams for you to actually donate to if you want to donate to that. It's going to go directly to Autism Speaks. It's not going to, I'm never going to touch the money. It's going to go directly to them. And the link is donate.autismspeaks.org. One more time, that is donate.autismspeaks.org. So that is the link if you want to donate to them. That will also be in the show notes. And our next podcast is going to be Saturday, May 4th. And we have a couple of different options for that. I haven't decided which one it's going to be yet. We might talk about Human Fall Flat, which is a indie game I've been playing a lot. We might talk about the new Sea of Thieves update, but I might not have enough time to research and play that as well yet, because the new update comes out April 30th. That's only going to give me like 4 days to play it, so I'm kind of leaning towards not doing the Sea of Thieves update on that episode, because I probably won't have enough time to dive deeply into it. And the other option is we might talk some Dead by Daylight, because there's some new news about the endgame of Dead by Daylight changing, so we might talk about that with ACC and bring him back, and also talk about the killers as well. So those are our 3 options right there, and honestly, at the moment, I'm leaning towards doing the Dead by Daylight episode. So that's where I'm leaning to at the moment, but if you want to, hit me up on Discord and kind of talk it out with me and tell me your thoughts, then definitely do so. And I do want to give one more shout out to our newest Patreon member, Naya Trujillo, also known as Naya Cyan. Thank you so much for your patronage, and thank you very much for becoming a double experienced member. So Naya joined the $5 level. There is a $1, $5, $10, and $15 month level for Patreon. And basically this is a way to support content creators. So it's essentially a way to give back to us for the content we're creating and helping us support us for the costs that we incur. So, this does take a lot of effort, a lot of time, and there's a lot of costs involved as well. So, new equipment, whether it's hosting fees, whether it's, buying a game that the stream wants you to cover, whatever it is. So there's definitely some, a lot of costs and time involved. So I do appreciate anyone that is able to give back and support through Patreon. So thank you once again, Naya Cyan, for supporting, and I really appreciate that. If you yourself want to support on Patreon, it's going to be patreon.com/Blaise XPerience to do so. So that's patreon.com/BLAISE XPerience. And that is how you can support on Patreon if you wish to do so. But that being said, if you want to contact me off the podcast or off stream, the best ways to do so are on Discord or Twitter. My Discord link will be in the show notes. And my Twitter and Xbox gamer tag are both at Blaise XPerience. So that's capital BLAISE, capital XPerience. And that is how you can contact me there. You can also contact me via email if you want. So my email is theblaisexperience@gmail.com. So definitely feel free to contact me there if you'd like to. I do have a YouTube and a Facebook. I don't use them as frequently. My YouTube is mainly to put the episodes on there, and that's the main thing I do with it right now. Maybe in the future I'll do more with it, but if you do comment on YouTube, I definitely appreciate that as well. I just take a little bit longer to get back to comments on them. So I respond a lot faster to Discord or Twitter. And then, of course, if you want to find the podcast, you're obviously listening to it right now. But if you wanted to find a different way that you don't know about, it's on Stitcher, it's on Spotify, it's on iTunes, it's on Google Podcast, it's on Radio Public, Podbean, Blueberry, and many other directories. So definitely check out any of those directories. Honestly, if you just Google search the Blaise XPerience, you'll probably find it as well. So if you literally just Google it, you will definitely find it somewhere. And if you are someone that doesn't like apps, if you don't want to use a podcast app, that is perfectly fine as well. If you join my Discord, then in my Discord, there's a specific channel, and that channel has all the episode links there. So you can directly download any episode from that Discord channel. But thank you, everyone. I really appreciate your support, and it means a lot. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you again on Sunday if you're joining the stream. If you're not coming to mixer.com/Blaise XPerience to check out the stream, then I will talk to you next week on the podcast. So thank you, everyone, for listening to the Blaise XPerience.